Welcome back to A Little Bit of Cheese, your bite-sized Wisconsin sports podcast. I'm your host, Cody Depius. That is Sam Douglas. We are coming to you live from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Well, we'll say Green Bay area. I'm actually in Appleton area, but Sam in La Crosse will actually be out in La Crosse this weekend. Maybe I can link up out there. But Sam, how you been? It's been a little bit.
Doing really good. Had a pretty sweet weekend last weekend. Just DJ gigs and all that jazz. Prior to that, I was at Monday night in Lambeau. It was a bummer of a game to watch, losing to the Eagles there, but there's never a bad night at Lambeau. So really good to get out there with my mom or our boyfriend and my brother. That was a really good time.
Hey, you got to stop making your way out to primetime games. I did that once with you, and that just never ends well. I don't know. I think you just got to let those tickets go wherever they may, aside from your hands, because we were there for Detroit last year. That game was pitiful. And then Philly this year. And both of those, there are people calling for Matt LaFleur to be fired. So since we've missed this time, since we've missed all this time, let's go back a week. Let's pretend like it is last week, Tuesday. Green Bay just lost this atrocious game to Philadelphia where really nothing went right at all. I don't even know what the final score was, but I know they had an opportunity to at least tie it at the end there. Coaching decisions questionable throughout the entire game. The defense played okay. What was your take on Matt LaFleur's position as head coach of the Green Bay Packers? And where was your outlook on the team after that performance?
First off, the Eagles are really good. They're Super Bowl reigning champs, man. I mean, you got to take that into consideration. Here, you're playing a really, really good team that doesn't like to use its best wide receiver. The Matt LaFleur conversations are 100% knocking. It doesn't feel like this team comes out ready to fight, ready to play. I don't see a punch in this team. I don't see, there's guts, there's chances, but it doesn't feel confident. We've talked about Jordan Love's kind of, it's okay to be very even keel. It doesn't feel like Matt LaFleur is getting these guys excited and ready to play, and it's showing up on the field. And I think he's got a very good track record as a head coach. Maybe play calling duties, switch it up a little bit. I think the play calling duties need to be done for Matt LaFleur.
It's take, and I mean, I'm gonna listen to all of it. And up until this year, I've been a pretty staunch defender, and I'll even say that I'm a pretty staunch defender of Matt LaFleur and his shortcomings because of how unique he is with his offensive mind. It's something that's different in the NFL, where I still think he's, if he got fired from Green Bay, he would be a head coach next year 100% because of what he has done in this league. I think he's a really smart guy. I think there are some things that, of course, you would hope that your head coach can do a little bit better. Time management, of course, is going to be one of those things. Having your guys prepared and fired up coming out of the gates, because that's been the whole time. Even when Green Bay's played well, it's never felt like that they have been completely prepared for all of these situations. And you can even go to the nice wins this year, the first couple weeks of the season, when Rasheed Walker literally came out and said this team's going to go 17-0 and win the Super Bowl. Both of those games, where they ended up, are nowhere near where they should have ended up the way that they started out. Of course, LaFleur took his foot off the throttle. You gave both teams kind of a fighting chance, even a slim chance, in either of those games. Is embarrassing to even give because of how dominant the team was throughout the first half and the start of the third quarter. That Washington game, I was actually there for that one, and I was frustrated that second half because of how much they had built up a lead and how many opportunities they gave Washington in the closing minutes of that game that should not have even existed, and a lot of that is due to play calling, your clock management, knowing when and when not to use your timeouts, even just run or pass. Sometimes we don't even have that down when it comes to those situations. And I'll end this with a but. And the but is that this team is still 6-3-1. Teams can lose games. Coaches can have rough stretches. This is Matt LaFleur's first actually rough stretch, I believe, of his coaching tenure in Green Bay. He, of course, had that first year with Jordan Love where they went 9-8. I think those first 8 weeks of that season were kind of a wash just to everybody getting used to having a new, essentially rookie quarterback at the time. But right now, where this roster is, it feels like they're underperforming, and it feels like some things are going to have to change going forward if you actually want to give Green Bay an actual chance to win a Super Bowl.
Well, I think you nailed it in just that last part is like with where this roster is right now. Like, yes, expectations are different now than they were a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Matt LaFleur, he's a 6-3-1 team. Yeah, that's the baseline for this team right now.
Right.
We are not, if we were 6-4, we'd be saying something's wrong here. You know, if five, and God forbid, 5-5, there would be more than just a little bit of talk about Matt LaFleur's job here right now. The expectations for this team, as soon as we got Micah Parsons, is Super Bowl,
Yeah.
is NFC Championship, is Super Bowl, and the defense is doing its part. He's supposed to be an offensive guy. There's just not a lot of excuses left. So, you know, it's
Right.
one score games with bad teams, not putting up any points. The three losses on the season were all scoring less than, what is it, 16 points
Yeah.
on the three losses of the year. It just doesn't cut it. But I'll tell you this much. As my name says, car shopping. It was a great weekend car shopping. You bought a car. I sold a car.
Mm,
Toyotathon is coming up, Cody. Toyotathon is around the corner. Jordan Love is about to get really good at football for a little bit during the
for a little bit.
Toyotathon
Hey, you get a
phenomenon.
good, what, 6 weeks? And they're important weeks, December. Like, that's when you need good football. So, yeah, and they're going to need to play well. I mean, you have Minnesota this week. You got Chicago coming up twice, but you're going to have to play Baltimore. You're going to have to
Yeah.
play Denver. Both of those teams are top teams, I believe, in the AFC. I think at least AFC championship contenders. And kind of where I'll tie all of this together, too. And you even started off, Philly is a great team. They really are. That team that we saw beat Green Bay in Lambeau on Monday night, that was not a good football team. The way
Mhm.
that Philly played, it wasn't the fact that they lost to the Eagles, because that you can stomach. You can always find a way to stomach to lose to a Philadelphia team that just came off of a Super Bowl victory in which they were considered one of the top 10 teams and top 10 rosters of all time. The way that Philly played that game, and Nick Sirianni had his head up his ass the whole second half, too, where Green Bay shouldn't have had a chance to even go and kick a tying field goal either. And they gave it all out there to Green Bay, and they couldn't execute on anything. Even just having McManus kick for those 3 weeks, kicking completely horrendously,
Mhm.
and then actually learning, oh, he's actually been injured this whole time, to the fact that he didn't even kick this past week. That's frustrating, especially when you have a kid that literally holds the franchise record now for the longest field goal in franchise history. And yes, he did biff a couple of kicks last week. It was windy. I'll give it to him. But just little decisions like this. Now your center is hurt, which I think Sean Ryan might actually be a better center from what we've seen. Jenkins was not having a good start to his season at center. Ryan moving inside. Jordan Morgan has a lot I think he can work on at right guard. But yeah, this team, I mean, when you have Christian Watson playing the way that he is, like, this
I
is
think
the best
Christian
Christian
Watson,
Watson
he
that you've
needs to
seen.
be he needs to be the wide receiver one.
Yeah.
100%. He needs to, if we're drawing some stuff up, Christian Watson was the guy. He had a little hamstring issue. And that's why we didn't need Matthew Golden's, because we had these guys marinating. Dobbs, he's been young. Christian Watson, we've had them
Sam, if you
stewed in the
if you don't have
sauce.
Matthew Golden, Bo Melton's your wide receiver 2 or 3 right
Yeah,
now.
and if we don't have Matthew Golden, what is that? About 6 catches on the year? No, I think
8.
he's gonna be doing all right. Savion's made a couple plays. I heard this the other day. Peyton Manning said actually, he never really thought about third down. He wanted to go first down, second down, first down. Not first down,
Yeah.
second down, manageable third down. It's first down, second down, first down. And it feels like this Packers team can use a little bit of that juice. Just let's move the ball, stop being too cute with this offense. And that's why when Tucker Craft was around, it was so nice to have somebody like that where it's, hey, first down, second, let's get a chunk. Hey, we need a chunk here. What can we do to get that chunk? And without that Tucker Craft in the offense anymore, Matt LaFleur is back to just being confused about which of the 8 guys to target every single time. So I make Christian Watson the wide receiver one, man.
Yeah.
Get Savion a couple touches and then just fill in the blanks from there. But if
Yeah.
you can't do it, I don't see a flow in the offense right now.
Right. We got a couple weeks until you start talking about Jaden Reed yet. You got to target Watson. You hit the nail on the head there. Musgrave is not a starting NFL tight end.
No.
I am really, really disappointed from what I've seen there. Golden, I'm going to remain hopeful. It's a
Yeah.
rookie season. You have a lot of ups and a lot of downs. You could be talking first week of the playoffs. Matthew Golden is an X factor going into a round. That's how quickly things can change in a guy's first year. And I really have high hopes for him. He just hasn't found the
Well,
targets as of recent.
it could be years. It could be 2, 3 years. Look where we are with Christian Watson right now. When these
Right.
wide receivers don't develop right away. Adonai Mitchell he just got traded to the Jets. He was like a first round receiver, second round top 40 pick type of thing. Stud
Yeah.
coming out of Texas. He's choking right now with the Jets. Just dropped a
Hmm.
lot of balls. I still think he dropped a tough one in front of the goal line. The guy's a talented kid. Some of these receivers, you're just not going to pop in your first year, second year. You need a
Right.
little bit of time. Devontae Adams, we watched it happen in Green Bay.
Hmm.
We thought he's got this funny little dance he does on the line of scrimmage to get off, but what's he going to be? Sometimes these guys need years to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And I think Golden is just the fact that his hands are there and that's not the concern here because we're going back to the dropsies. And that's this past week where they
Oh,
did
and it's
take
in the
on
cornerback room now.
in the yes. Oh, it's everywhere. Well, you had 7 drops on offense last week as well. And I know we had the whole conversation in the offseason where I was like, if this team didn't drop passes, I think Jordan Love actually had a decent year last year. You said it was more Love's fault that the receivers drop passes. I think we're seeing case in point that this team can really have the case of the dropsies, and they had it. And it was both offensively and defensively. It was good to go and get a win in New York. Should not have had to stress it out as much as we did, because Jameis Winston was the quarterback of a team that really has no offensive weapons, and they have a defensive line, and that's about it on their defensive side, where you sweated it out the entire game. You needed Christian Watson to make some crazy catches in the end zone, like 2 top 10 plays that we're going to talk about later this year, probably when it all is said and done. But it's a game that you just hoped that you could go and show that you're making improvements, and I think they did as a whole, but you saw the mistakes overall that they're going to have to clean up if they want to go and compete and beat good teams, especially down the stretch.
Yeah, they will. The offense needs to be there. Toyotathon's coming up, and they can get hot. That's the beauty of a young team is the wheels can still get in motion. You just knock out wins. At the end of the day, getting wins in an NFL season matters. Look at the Chiefs. Chiefs are a really good football team. They're just not stacking wins right now, and they might find
Yeah.
themselves out of the playoffs. Packers keep getting wins. Let this young team marinate in the sauce and get really good at football when it matters. And the Bears can lose a couple games too. 7-3 from Chicago. Didn't see that coming. Fully expected them to fall off a cliff as
Oh, yeah.
Chicago does. So
Yep, without a doubt.
yeah, it's going to be knocking.
I'm not worried at all, actually, about that Chicago team. But, I mean, one step at a time, take it to Minnesota on Sunday. Like, just throttle them. I don't need to see this. We cannot be talking about a loss next week. You talking about a loss, we're talking about Matt LaFleur and how his position looks on this team and with this organization again. And this is a game where go win because you
Blow
got
'em
tough
out.
teams down the stretch. Yeah, blow them out.
Sake.
Please. Blow somebody out. Like, actually, start to finish. Let me see a even 32-7. Like, defense, player ball. JJ McCarthy should not be able to do anything
No,
against
he's
this
not
front
good.
seven.
He's not
No.
good. He's one of those takes years types of guys.
Takes years, maybe decades. I mean, we'll see. He might be out of the league before he figures it out. But no, I mean, sorry, Vikings fans. Just gonna be honest. There, it's looked rough. Like there are Malik Willis, I think, would be a much more comfortable player at quarterback right now for your Minnesota Vikings.
It's a dangerous situation when the Minnesota Vikings look at you and they think you're a good quarterback. That's a tough look for
Ugh.
that quarterback.
Hey, Darnold, I just know they're sitting back and thinking, dang it. You had the guy, you had him in your lap. You could have gave McCarthy another year. And what, Darnold signed a 2-year contract, I believe. Not a lot of money was guaranteed, where if he was bad this
Mhm.
year, they could have cut him and not really hurt that much next year. But they just wanted to let McCarthy have it right away without having a single NFL snap under his belt. And this is what you get. This is what happens when your organization has a horrendous front office that has had one good draft pick in the last 4 years, and they rely on free agents and spend so much money on players that they shouldn't. And that's the bottom line.
Cody, I think I saw a stat. I don't want to misquote it. I think there's been like 90 something punt returners that have 90 some players in the NFL that have taken 3 punts or something like that. And you get these 90 players, and the bottom three in yards per punt return are the three Packers. It's like Dobbs,
Hey.
has Savion done a couple, and then one other guy. But the three bottom punt returners in the NFL this year are all Packers. Dude, we talked about offense struggling a little bit, defense
Oh
struggling a
yeah,
little
it's
bit.
it's
Rich
it's Bisaccia, man. We've had that. We've been around this track too many times, and I'm not even gonna beat a dead horse. Y'all know how I feel about it. The dude is way overpaid. He has done a horrendous job with the special teams that I just think flat out for whatever reason will never be good. In my lifetime, we'll never be comfortable with the special teams taking care of what they need to, except for Daniel Whelan, my sweet prince. By golly, what
Oh
a
yeah.
beautiful,
Oh
beautiful player.
yeah.
So, Daniel Whelan, you're good. High five, gold star. Everybody else, do your job. And kicking, returning, coverage. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. It's been bad, and I can't have that headache anymore. But we've grown up with it, and we've lived with it, and it's just how it is, even if you go and pay a special teams coach $4 million to be your quote unquote assistant head coach, and he can't even take care of the position that he's initially hired for. Like that. All right, done with that. Let's go to the Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks. Can you give us a little rundown of what's been going on? I've been bad fan recently. I don't even know if they won or lost yesterday. I know Giannis is hurt. He might be out for a couple of weeks. We need another Bucks State of the Union here, Sam.
Giannis is injured. He pulled his groin. The league has been able to tackle and push and kick Giannis to a degree that we've never seen before from a superstar since, the 90s. And now we've got an injured Giannis because of it. The whistle has been absurd going against the Bucks this year.
Oh yeah.
Giannis has been abused, as he has been his entire career. They think that Giannis pulled his groin earlier in the game. He tried to play through it a little bit. Whenever you see somebody, any athlete, anybody just walk off with a soft tissue non-contact injury, you really start to get a little bit worried that something could seriously be wrong. But as far as that goes, it sounds like it's good news. 1 to 2 weeks is kind of what the murmurings have been for this type of injury. Now, Giannis being as important as he is to this Bucks team, the sooner he can get back, the better. But also, if he needs more time to rest this groin, then I hope he takes all the time that he has, because this team needs some postseason success. We've had a lot of regular season success, and I think Giannis is there with us when he wants to see it in the postseason. So whatever he's got to do to get the body right. Looks like he's going to be coming back around the same time as actually Kevin Porter Jr. So hopefully this team, if we can tread water a little bit here over the next couple weeks, and then get KPJ and Giannis back at the same time, I think that can really give us a lot of juice to get the wheels rolling. But in the meantime, without Giannis, let me check out some stats here. Bucks really need Giannis. Yeah. All right. Heard this on Lockdown Bucks. Shout out to him. Per 100 possessions, Giannis on versus Giannis off. Giannis is plus 21 points for this Bucks team per 100 possessions. It's like in a full game, you're either scoring 80 or 101 with or without Giannis. Without Giannis, this offense, out of the 30 teams in the NBA, 30th. With him, I think we're fifth. But it is by far the worst offense in the league. He is plus 21 when he's on the court. We need Giannis back. But Ryan Rollins is showing up. So we talk about some of the guys that are going to step up. Who's going to step up. And we saw that happen with Ryan Rollins early in the season when Kevin Porter Jr. went out. It's just a guy who's been in the tank. He's been ready. Now you have an opportunity. So Giannis being out is absolutely an opportunity for some of these guys. Ryan Rollins, man, this is even more of an opportunity for him. As soon as Giannis went out, the offense did not look good. I believe we were playing it wasn't the Hornets, man. I forget who it was, but the offense did not look fantastic.
You could tell me it's the Harlem Globetrotters. I'm not going to second guess you.
Dang, this is 2 nights ago. I was watching the game too. Ryan Rollins just took over. No, was it Phoenix? Quick pause.
I just saw the Twitter videos of the officiating, and yeah, the whistles have been pretty.
Cavs. It was the Cavs.
Cavs.
They've been bad. But Ryan Rollins took over the offense. He was shooting a lot of the shots. The usage rate was very, very high. He's going to be the guy. We're going to see Ryan Rollins shining. As soon as Giannis went out, the halftime lineup, I thought it was kind of interesting. They brought in Jericho Sims. So we're going to see a little bit more Jericho Sims. There's a reason we kept this big athletic freak to get some boards. Now we might have 2 7-footers out there. It's time for Doc to get a little creative. Miles Turner, can you be a 25 point per game guy? AJ Green, what happens when you start pulling 7 threes a night? Andre Jackson Jr., you got a roster spot for a reason, brother. Like it's NBA Cup season time. This is where you caught a name for yourself last year. We'll see if he can step up. But no Taurean Prince, no Giannis. This Bucks team is missing that power forward type of player. We really don't have anybody there right now. It's like Bobby, maybe. Does Thanasis count as an NBA player? I don't know. But they're definitely going to have a couple things to piece together over a tough couple weeks here without Giannis.
Yeah, it's just treading water. And overall, the whole NBA is dealing with injuries right now. Like you could list probably your top 20 players in the NBA, and I'd say about half of them are hurt and not playing currently. That'll bring me to my first kind of mini cheese grater here. How do you fix this injury problem in the NBA? Because you've listed a bunch of guys from Milwaukee who are contributors, and we're a couple weeks into this thing, and it feels like everybody's just trying to tread water already.
I have a theory. Do you want the far out theory or the?
I'm far out all the time, man. Bring it.
Okay. Well, bigger court. I think the court needs to get bigger. I think like considerably. 5 feet on every side. These guys are huge. Yeah. You think in like the 1900s when they designed a basketball court, they were thinking Giannis types of dudes like Giannis existed.
Look at Wembanyama.
Yeah,
they wrote fables about guys like Wembanyama.
Right? Like what? It doesn't look real when we see the guys take 2 steps down a basketball court because you're not supposed to do that. The acceleration to deceleration that it takes, from sideways to up and down. The court, the bigger, faster, stronger the guys get, the court doesn't change. That's my far out there because the money it would take to increase every single NBA stadium, that big. I think to touch on that a little bit, get rid of some of the courtside stuff. I think the courtside fans is a huge part of the NBA experience. I've never been lucky enough to sit courtside, but for the same reason, it's the acceleration to deceleration. It's when you have 7 camera guys sitting right under the basketball hoop. Do we want to encourage these high flying dunkers? And are we putting camera guys at their feet? Like what are we doing? I think you're asking for people to stop and start at a really tough rate. Now, I don't think either of those are necessarily plausible fixes.
Hey, I don't think that's far out. I like to think about that for all sports. Actually, like I'll go 50 years down the road. This is what your sports are going to look like. Football is going to be more like rugby. They're not going to have any protection. Baseball, you're going to be moving the mound back. I think just the mound goes back like about a foot or 2, and maybe the fences get a little bit deeper. And then the NBA, I think you're going to end up raising your rim, and I think you're going to end up making the courts, because humans get bigger and faster and stronger and scarier, and you need to find ways to adapt for this to be safe or even fair. Like Jacob Mizorowski had an incredible start to his season because nobody had ever seen it, and he is as unpolished as a major league pitcher can come. If he can get a little bit of polish, it's going to be scary and it's going to be stupid. Paul Skeens had a sub 2 ERA 2 years into the league, and there are kids coming up now that are 103, 104. They have a 96 slider in the back pocket. Things are going to get freaky. It's going to be stupid. It might be unhittable at some point. And maybe that's just me thinking that the hitters won't adapt, which, I mean, if you would have brought Mizorowski back to 1932, like Babe Ruth would have had that guy arrested for sorcery. So I think things are going to change. I mean, the NBA, you just look at it and it's condensed. I don't know. I broadcast a lot of high school basketball. That is a perfect size court for the high school kids. And yes, I know the NBA court is a little bit bigger than that, but you compare these Wisconsin high school kids to NBA players, like your proportion is just, the game is so condensed. Bodies are all over the place. Like you could probably do three wingspans and get across to the other 3-point line. Like it's freaky. Humans, it's awesome. It's fun to watch, but it gets to a point where it's too much.
Yeah, it'd be good for the game too. I think it would encourage a little more motion, a little more running around, a little more action, a little more activity, and it's just spacing, man. It's got to breed more creativity. But
Yeah.
it's just so much money. It's the reason why the NBA won't go down to, 75 games in a year for a little bit of health. That's
Well,
another thing that they could do is this
baseball's still playing $1.62, and that'll never change.
Yeah, it's because these stadiums and the TV deals and the owners are here to make money, and I get it, but also if we're talking about health, change the turf at MetLife. No, they're not going to because they have concerts there. It's just there's more than just the health of a basketball player's kneecap going on here. I'll pay the insurance bill and that's fine. Like I don't. It's just really tough, and I think. We talked about Giannis a little bit. The 65 games is what you need to be involved in for end of season awards, that first team NBA, MVP, DPO, a defensive player of the year, things like that. When you miss a chunk of time, now he's going to need to almost play, his rest. He can't miss much more games if he's going to miss 10 here. That brings him down to 72. He gets to miss, 5 or 6 more through the rest of the season. That being said, the NBA is building in time off, right? We have 82 games, play 65 of them. They're kind of nodding to a little bit of take your time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Giannis is allowed to get any more like MVP awards anyway. At least we've learned that the last couple of years. So
Absolutely absurd how he's not in more conversations. They got like Wemby over him and Shea and Jokic, and Shea's the Thunder are an absolute behemoth of a team, but are we talking most valuable player or just like the offensive engine on a really, really good team that's 10 guys deep? Giannis still getting better. I think he's shooting 46% from 3 this season, Cody. Yeah. He's gotten better for 12 years straight. It boggles my freaking mind. And he won MVP.
I'll put it this way. If Giannis came into the league this year from Europe, like he was just signed by the Bucks, and he'd be having the season that he's having right now, it'd be unanimous. Nobody would talk about anybody else being an MVP favorite. Like that's the bottom line. It's just we get this voter fatigue. And I mean, honestly, LeBron would probably have 8 MVPs if it wasn't for voter fatigue.
That's
so
true.
It's like it happens. I get it. I hope it doesn't get into baseball too much because Shohei Ohtani is going to be a shoo-in for MVP until he's like 41, whenever that contract runs out. So it's sorry for anybody in the National League who wants to get any actual accolades that might help you get into the Hall of Fame. That might not happen for a while. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm a bad NBA fan. I think the regular season product has kind of just lost me. And I mean, I know it's silly coming from a guy who will watch 162 games of baseball without a problem. And my only argument is, for some reason, I like baseball better. And that's why I can do it, and I love it. And The NBA, you got to find something to bring in that average fan to make them want to watch. And I just don't know if that's the case. And it was easier in Wisconsin this year because the Brewers were the best team in all of baseball. So we heard about it more. But
Two words for you,
you gotta
Cody.
draw me.
Two words
Hmm?
for you, Cody.
Hmm.
Ryan Rollins. Ryan
Hmm.
Rollins. Go check out your point guard sometime. We got a hooper. We got a hooper. And he uses his body well. He plays really, really smart ball. And this goes for anybody who hasn't seen Ryan Rollins play yet. Check him out because you're about to see 2 weeks of aggressive Ryan Rollins. He's going to be bailing Doc Rivers' shitty offense out because he's just going to have the ball and play ISO ball. And it's going to be this kid who was on a two-way contract last year who got waived by the Bucks this year. Nobody claimed him, came back to the Bucks, and now he's just one of the top 5 point guards in the NBA. Ryan freaking Rollins. Go check him out. My goodness, it's a treat.
You know what? It's just as much a treat to hear you talk about Ryan Rollins than I think it would be for me to actually watch Ryan. You've built this kid up quite a bit, Sam. I don't think there's any way that he can exceed the expectations that you have set for him.
If you turn it on and it's not prime Steph Curry, I fear you'll be disappointed. No, what I said, I texted you. I said a bigger bodied Chris Paul, and I kind of stand by that. It's calculated. He uses his body really, really well.
Yeah.
It's like it's almost when Kyrie was a little craftier around the rim with the ball and his angles and stuff. But no matter what, the ball was getting off the backboard. He was getting his layup up. And Ryan Rollins as a slasher kind of has that. It's this small body, what Kyrie had to learn how to do, Chris Paul had to learn how to do when you're going amongst the trees in there, is to get the ball actually up, not get it blocked, adjust your arm angle, get it up. And so he's a bigger body. He has these really wide shoulders, and he still has that, no matter what, I'm going to get the ball off the glass. If they swat it, it's a goaltend. And it's just really savvy slashing is what I've seen out of him. And if his 3-point percentage can go up, Cody, man, I don't think all-star is out of the question for him. We'll see what these next 2 weeks go. We've seen him put 30 up without Giannis already.
Yeah.
If you're any gamblers out there, go find your Ryan Rollins overs. And this is not gambling advice. My bookie would love for you to take my gambling advice. But Ryan Rollins, man, I think we've got a couple good weeks of a Linsanity run coming up with this kid.
All right, book it. Maybe the gambling streets find my first dime. We'll find out. That'll be one tale to tell. We can transition to the cheese grater here. We got some time for some questions. Number one, do the Milwaukee Brewers regret offering Brandon Woodruff the $22 million qualifying offer? Do you think they offered it and said he probably won't do it, and then he signed it and they said, crap?
Man, probably. I can't believe that we're paying him 22.
Yeah, that
I
allows the qualifying offer.
I think that he might get it somewhere else just because that's how baseball is. And if someone needs a pitcher, they can go pay for someone, and that's totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a lot of money for someone who's been injured, a whole heck of a lot.
Yeah.
But if we
I think
can
he
get
started 23 games in the last 3 seasons.
But as a Brewers fan, this is where it's a double-edged sword, Cody, because as a Brewers fan, I love to see us start paying guys. As a Brewers fan, I know that takes one other player out of position that we're just not going to get. Because we are dealing with the cap with the Brewers. We are dealing with just what they're going to feel comfortable spending, and it's not a ton of money. So I love that Woodruff got that. We need starting pitching, all the starting pitching all the time. Get all the starting pitching.
Mm-hmm.
I just know we're not going to go get, if we're paying Woody 22, are we going to go get Schwarber?
Oh, no, that was never in question. And I think most of the guys that you would say, were we going to go get? I don't even know if it was in question. I think they like where they're at, and it's kind of just the way that things are. But when they went out and they signed Rhys Hoskins to that contract, gave him $34 million, and the last 2 seasons being as underwhelming as they were, I'm afraid that it may shy them away from signing deals like that again, because they know they can just pick an Andrew Vaughn essentially up off the streets and make him a damn all-star. So
it's a really exciting process to be a part of when it works, and I fear it can be very frustrating when we're looking at a team of 200 hitters saying, well, we have five good starting pitchers, you know.
Hey, I'm happy that they gave him that offer. It's kind of a thank you to Woodruff for doing what you've done for this
Absolutely.
organization. It is like because they've essentially paid him for a whole season that he didn't even play. Like they gave him an extra extension, knowing that he just wasn't going to play 2 years ago. And Woodruff, of course, saw that, and he's betting on himself here because he could have not signed that offer, gone to the free agent market, and said, "I'm looking for a 3-year deal. Whoever can get that to me, let's do it." Because, in all honesty, any
Mhm.
game that Brandon Woodruff pitches from here on out could be his last. With that shoulder surgery, it takes just one thing to go wrong and his career could just be completely shot. And it's the risk that you take, but you do it for such a high character person and player that you found in Brandon Woodruff. And now you just be excited that he gets to come back and be a part of this roster because he helps more than just his spot in the rotation. He helps every single player in that clubhouse, the kind of personality he brings.
100%. We and the clubhouse had the juice, power, friendship. You know, if we're investing into something, invest in the clubhouse, baby. I'm down with that. Can you name me the three largest NFL stadiums by seating capacity?
Ooh, okay. I would have to think SoFi in LA because of
That
volume.
is out of the top 10
Wow. Okay.
at
It's
70,000.
okay. So Lambeau might be up here because I know how small the actual seats are because they made the seat
Oh,
sizes before they found out what Cheetos were. So I'll say Lambeau just because I feel like I've heard that before.
Number two with
Yep.
81,441.
And it's not because there's more room for
No,
any seats. It's because the seats are 18 inches compared to 24 inches like they are in any stadium built after 1965.
oh my
So,
God. And it feels
uh,
that small.
maybe Minnesota.
Is
Maybe.
in the bottom 10.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Now I'm just
Really nice
throwing
stadium,
darts at
though.
a wall. I
Come
love
on,
it.
too
Yeah.
big. Think big.
Think big. I mean, we said MetLife before. That would just make sense.
Oh, sure would. That's the Big Apple. Number one
Okay.
biggest stadium by seating capacity in the NFL. It's MetLife,
Okay.
82,500.
Big, big. What is
The
big? I know
third
Seattle,
biggest.
they get a lot of noise. I don't know if that equates to a lot of fans. I know Kansas City's got a lot of fans.
Kansas City's number four.
Okay. Big, big, big.
As soon as you think
I
of it, you're gonna know it. You're gonna kick yourself when I tell you that it's Jerry World.
just
It's Jerry World.
oh,
It's Dallas, baby.
hey, we're Green Bay undefeated in Dallas yet, although they should have lost this year. Another story for another day. All right, I like that one. Nice cheese grater. My last one for you. If you could change one thing for this Packers team, wave your magic wand to give yourself the best shot for the Super Bowl. What's that one thing? And realistic, like you can't heal Tucker Kraft's ACL.
Oh, I get that. That was it. That was it. That's all I want, Cody. I just want take my ACL, please. I have two of them. I don't need them. I have four cats. I have eight ACLs between my two cats. Throw them all together. Take my
Like a
name.
mega ACL.
Yes. Give Tucker Kraft a super ACL. That's my one wish.
Hey.
Okay, well, if I can't do that, I'm going to get Luke Musgrave off Tucker Kraft's powers.
Okay.
That's my second wish.
I like it. Well, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you for listening. We'll be back whenever we're back. Sorry, life gets in the way, but we'll keep everyone updated on a periodic basis. So we'll see you when we see you next time on A Little Bit of Cheese, your bite-sized Wisconsin sports podcast.